This is Gesso Shady podcast. This show is for 14 plus disclaimer. All said on this show is opinions and should not be taken as facts to reference. Enjoy the show. Please like and subscribe.
I'm in pursuit of it all. I can't slow down. Forever gotta chase
Running through the red lights,
Life is
baby.
when it take off. You broke, then you fall. Forever gotta make it.
Yeah.
Harder we go. I get closer to making my vision realer. We go.
All right, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be. This is Guest House Sad Podcast. You out with your host Adam Mills. To the right left of me is
The sick cuz the governor.
One Bizzle was good.
Yeah. We had to get back in podcast mode. But real quick, man, before we go through this album review, just to elaborate what we was talking about God before the cameras was on. Yeah, man, it's a blessing, bro. Take that blessing wisely because appreciate the blessing, try to say. Because, could you imagine having a project done? You done your part. You paid everything up. It's not like it can be a big argument if you still owe. You know what I'm saying? You can understand and sympathize. But it's like ordering a pizza and you pay for it.
Yeah.
And days later, you order something and pay for it, and their package is taking a long time. When I had this little program, this little app that my man Nate put me on with.
Yeah.
It's not as crisp as someone to mix and master your stuff as a human being.
Yeah.
They had these apps where they mix and master.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, man, I'm thinking I should have took that route because my patience is being tested. I mean, the album was supposed to drop in June. We're going into August, bro.
Right. But think of it like this too, though. It could be a microwave pizza, or you can get a brick oven. You know what I mean? Which is better? So I'd rather take the brick oven. He's got to wait a little bit longer. You know what I mean? That's the sad thing about it. But sometimes, you know what I mean? That's the part of it, though. When it comes to making this art, the listener doesn't even care how long it took. Like, say, we listen to this album, The Death of Slim Shady, for example. We weren't invested in these songs and really be like, okay, man, I know how many takes it took for them to get these verses down. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So that's
the album could have came out 3 years ago. You let me hear something off of Smoke and Mirrors that the cat out the bag. But I was like, I thought I was hearing well, you said the verse was fresh, but the concept and the beat and everything,
yeah.
You had it for a minute. You had it in the vault for a minute, and I thought it was something fresh and new.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? But
right.
To the listener, it's different. I think it's just the frustration comes from the artist that knows
True.
What's behind the scene. That's where the frustration
comes. The same way we think about the people signing the majors, signing the major labels, albums done, you waiting to get it out. Come on, then let's go ahead, look at the videos. We pushing A star right now. We pushing B, so it's
and you won't come out till 2 years later.
Yeah. And then that could be too late. You never know.
A lot of TDE artists used to get frustrated by that. I think that's one of the reasons why Kendrick contract is up and he went independent. But he moved enough units and stuff where he could free himself. His counterparts can't do that.
Right.
And they make very good talented music. Mm-hmm. So let's go in with this album review. I don't know. I sent both of you guys my little report card, right?
Right.
I'm gonna try to read from it. You know what I'm saying? It's a scribble scrapple like a doctor would write something, though, right? But all right, my take on it real quick is Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady album review. Boom. You heard it here first, and if you didn't hear it first, you heard it from here the best. So I'm going with the first one, right? It's Renaissance? If I'm saying it right? Is it Renaissance?
Yeah.
Okay, that was dope. Great way to start the album, so I gave that a dope point. Habits were pretty dope. Lyrics on there were top tier. That was nice. This is where things started to get real crazy for me. After Troubled Times, the intro. Brand New Dance, I didn't like it. It was corny. That's what you expect from an Eminem record anyway, some type of corniness, right? I didn't like it. It was corny, and it wasn't just corny. but it was like the video probably wouldn't even play it. You get what I'm saying?
It was clear, like you could see video all over this one.
Yeah. And number 5 was that Evil. Nothing real special from Eminem. There's something that he's used to doing, homophobic lines, and you know what I'm saying? I think he actually dumbed down his bars on this one. The beat was trash, so I didn't like Evil, right? I didn't like Brand New Dance. Lucifer, pretty dope. I like the lyrics, right? Let's see what I wrote right here. Once again, I think he was dealing with like freedom of speech, and that ties into like the Antichrist, where he throws shots at P. Diddy. He throws shots at people like Lord Jamal. He throws shots more homophobic lines. Let's see. The beat switch at the end was dope. Whoever that was at the end that was rhyming, he was very dope. Yeah. But I liked it. It had a deep meaning to it. We don't know what type of faith that Eminem professes. I don't want to call him a Satanist or nothing like that, but you know, he's known to be on edge and bizarre. So I did like Lucifer and Antichrist, his songs. They were pretty dope. Nothing really special, but pretty dope. The next line, what was that at the Antichrist?
Fuel.
Fire. Fuel, thank you. This is a standout for me. With featuring Jid from Atlanta.
Yeah.
That was very dope. I think Jid held his own. If you want to make an argument, I think Jid probably edged him on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next one, Road Rage. This has some type of substance to it, which I'll get to later on. The reason why Eminem will never be in my top 5. But this has just for the first time we get the song 10. This has some type of substance to it, and it has a beat switch on there that's dope. Houdini, the follow up from that, was corny. Didn't like it. I dread listening to it. I really want to skip it. Halfway through the song, I'm trying to keep my attention span live, listening to that. Breaking News skip was pretty dope. Guilty Conscience, that goes back to the very first Eminem with him and Dr. Dre. I think that was dope. I still think Dr. Dre should have featured in that. That was dope. What else? Head Honcho. That was trash. Didn't like that. What's that? What's the one at the Head Honcho? Anybody? What's that? Temporary or what?
No.
That song was dope. Not gonna go through that too much. Bad Ones was lyrically was cringe. I really tried to get through that one. They could have left that off. Eminem could have left that off the album. What's the next one? Toby.
Bad One, and then Toby.
Toby. That's a standout. Arguably the best song on the whole album. Really. Featuring Big Sean and another MC, I don't know his name.
Baby Tron.
Yeah, Big Sean really stand out. Everybody on that song was dope. I love that Eminem did a thing on there. Guess Who Back skit. I don't really judge the skits. Somebody Save Me. I didn't like that neither. You know, that was like a bad Disney song or something like that. Very corny. Eminem don't make music that relate to us.
Not really.
I applaud him for being talented, but his music doesn't move me. You get what I'm saying? So here's my grade. Production, 2 out of 10. Production on here, didn't like. It was very repetitive and didn't hit home at all. Let's see. Subject matter, 3 out of 10. Because he really didn't have subject matter. You know, he didn't draw people in, even when he had the song about his daughter, right?
For the 50th time.
It wasn't like, you know, me relating to my daughter. You know, like when Ghostface had "All I Got Is You." You know, remember that off the R Man album? Tupac, "Dear Mama." You could relate. That was part of the black struggle. I think if we were white and lived in a trailer park,
I think it would be,
you know, it would have been better. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics, 9 out of 10. I'm always going to get that man his props as his bars.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, let's see. Album length, you know, I'm a big sticker on that. 20 songs or 19 songs with 4 or 5 skits, a bit too much, especially when you don't have substance in your music. This is not on repeat for me. I give it a 6 out of 10, and I would have given it a 5 out of 10, which would have been my lowest score that I can remember from a lyricist from, you know, with a high caliber of his pen being top tier. And the only reason why I gave it a 6, guess I respect that the fact that he can rhyme, but yes, it lacked the production, it lacked subject matter, and it lacked in the length of the album I couldn't stand for, and that's me, 6 out of 10, man. What you guys give it? What you gave it, good?
Now, listening to it, sound quality wise, you can definitely hear Dre. You can hear Dre's mark in this, like how clean everything is, like the whole setup from the beginning, like to the end, like this the way the flow of the album. I like. It looked like he was chasing at the more like this comic book type of a deal, like this field is what he was trying to do. So that's why the beats to me, most of them had that feel, like almost like that Gotham City type of a sound almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that sound was pretty much what ran this. And when it came to like the songs, I liked yeah, the beginning was great. Renaissance Habits, Trouble, that whole thing with that first 3, I like. Brand New Dance sounded like that reminded me like a cartoon, not a cartoon, but like a commercial. Like one of them like a game show, one of them family corny, just one of those type things. Like Guess Who's Back? You know what I mean? Like that whole Slim Shady thing, you know what I mean? When he does that comedy, that's like his comic routine. That's what the Brand New Dance reminded me of. You know what I mean?
But it's corny, man. I mean,
that's
for him to have that type of lyrical skills that 98% of hip hop or rappers in the world wish they had that ability from a lyrical standpoint.
Right.
How he's able to go in different pockets and rhyme fast, slow it down, and he's an excellent wordsmith. He's just corny. Jonah Luke is the same way, corny. You get what I'm saying? It's always rappers that's overly lyrical sometimes can be the most corniest. Tech Nine, very corny. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not a big fan of Eminem. That's the reason why he's out of my top 5, because he lacks substance and he's corny. But go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Right. And then the thing is, the way that corny thing, though, that might be part of his appeal. That's what kind of gives him the appeal, like to the broader audience. You know what I mean? That's kind of what makes him appeal, almost in that Bob Saget type of a thing. You know what I mean? Remember back in the day, American Funniest Home Videos?
Yeah.
So it kind of gives me a bit of that appeal at the same time. And then when you get to like say Lucifer, Evil and Lucifer and Antichrist, that's kind of like when he get into his politics stuff. Like he keeps hitting on the transgender thing. Wants to call between what do you call it, Bruce and Caitlyn. Well, I forgot her name.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner and all of that.
And Caitlyn. Yeah. That whole thing. Like he keeps going on about that. So it seems like those are his big things. The transgender thing, freedom of speech. Like that's his whole. Like he wants to push against that. He doesn't like the PC, the politically correct talk and everything like that. Like that's his thing. But on the other hand, that seems to be his. That's his calling card. That's what he's won by. You know what I mean? So then
he's a shot job. I think once he retired from hip hop, he probably had the #1 podcast next to Joe Rogan.
Easily. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised because you can tell by the different things he talks about. It's a wide range of things that he pays attention to. So he probably would be a very good interview when it comes to that. Another thing that he also mentions, he talks about his drug addiction and the fight that he's had with that. and how I forget what song is it. Guilty Conscious, is that the one when he talk where he
Oh,
basically
let me
talks of,
see. Hold on.
was it
I
who
don't know
did
my notes now.
but there was the one song when he's talking about you feel you created this alter ego basically, and you gave me all this alcohol and all these drugs, and now you're upset that it's taken over. You know what I mean? And I think
That could be guilty conscience, though. Because I
mm.
know guilty conscience, he threw shots at Ja Rule, threw shots at Lord Jamal. Um,
Right.
that's one of the that's one of the ones I like to was dope. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But
Basically, he was just fighting with his alter ego.
yeah, and I think that's the thing that a lot of artists struggle with when it comes to this, when it comes to these different things. Like say, for example, if I was the artist and the image that I was trying to portray that I was the ladies' man of some sort, right? I
Mhm.
would need to feel that, but I need to have women around. You see what I mean? And in order for me to try to keep that going, it's going to just get worse and worse and worse. I have to progressively get worse. I'll be hurting the people that I care about just to try to keep this thing going. You see what I mean? Because I would need that. I need it. I need it. So a lot of these people, when they're trying to create these personas or whatever, be it acting, whatever, I think that's like the thing, like the cautionary tale in a way, like just something to keep in mind because you never you never know how that can take over you, and it'd be something that you can't control anymore.
Lost himself in his role, like they said Tupac with Juice.
Yep. Yeah.
Tupac became Bishop after Juice. You
Hmm.
know? So okay, so what else? What do you rate this
Um,
album? What are no goes like? Production wise, subject matter, lyricism,
let me see.
album.
Sound quality. It sound great. Like when it comes to like the actual production quality, I didn't like the beats per se, but I like the sound quality. Let's put it like that. So
Okay.
beat wise, I'm not a big fan of most of the ones that Eminem tended to do anyway. So I would get like 5 out of 10 beat wise. You know what I mean? They were solid, like constructed wise. You know what I mean? But just
Yeah.
sound, they just don't really grab me like that. Sound wise is great. Like when it comes to like the way that it sounded, the overall flow of the album, like it's a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? Because I don't think people can put it together better than that.
Yeah.
Uh, lyrically, of course, he flows. And you can't even take that from him. You know what I mean? You cannot take that away. You can't step away and say, "Oh, Eminem, he's top tier, white or
Yeah.
black, doesn't matter what you
Yeah.
call."
He's 90%. I want to say 98% of artists from all over the world,
Yeah,
from your Nas's to your Black Thoughts, wish they had this man. It's very few people pen could match this man's pen.
right. And his versatility, words. I mean, he could. I don't know what he uses, but it doesn't sound like it. Like this, the whole team. This is him. You can tell by the way he writes. This is him.
Yeah.
He can
Exactly.
all the cadences. He can do all the different type of flows. So when it comes to that, he's top tier. So
Subject matter. What you think?
subject matter, it was kind of repetitive, and I understand why. He got like his main points that he goes on when he's not just doing wordplay, but it was kind of repetitive to me. So 4 out of 10. Like I kind of get where he's trying to go, but it doesn't really. I don't really relate 100%. So overall, I think I would give it a 5 out of 10.
All right, all right. Hey, that's respectful. We're gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I just gave it an extra point just out of respect to who he is in the
I
game.
like this one better than the last one. What was it? The Kamikaze?
That's nasty. That's what we differ at. I love kamikaze. I
Okay.
just this, but to be fair, be honest with you, I haven't really listened to kamikaze like that. A lot of people like kamikaze better than this, and some
Mm.
people like this better than kamikaze. But I will say for both of them, there's no replay value. Do you think? How do you feel about going back to this? Is it replay value in your book? You know what I'm saying? Would you go back to this album?
Probably not. Maybe a song or two at best. But
Yeah.
I would go back. I would still go. I would go back and I'd pull up Ghostface before this one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think that you would probably go back for the same reasons I would go back. I would probably go back as far as lyrical inspiration.
Mm,
You would probably go back for production inspiration. Like how I like to go and listen to albums for cadences,
right.
words, to get those
Yeah,
get
yeah,
those
yeah.
engine running. as a writer. I think that I'm almost sure you almost do that too when it comes down to certain producers. Like, I like that sound, or something may inspire me to, and it's just not just hip hop. It's probably just anything,
different sounds, right?
different sounds and stuff. So I think that if we were to go back to it wouldn't be to hear the album. It's probably just like pick up little parts that we can take and run with.
Right.
So you gave it a 5 out of 10, right? I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
What you give it, Quan Bizzle?
Yo, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not trying to turn this into a debate. But before I touch on that's two things you said that stuck out to me.
The Tupac?
The Tupac, like Bishop, they like we gotta talk about that another time. I don't know about that. Hey, I'm talking about my man like that. I don't know about that. And first, Nas wishing he can be on Eminem's lyrical level. Don't disrespect that man. Don't disrespect Nas like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yes, you did. You gotta rewind that. I'm gonna make sure I edit that. I'm gonna make sure I gotta edit that out for you. I gotta make sure I edit that out. I don't want anyone hearing that. No, hold up. Nah, I can't let that slide. I mean, no, not Nas. Anyone else? Not Nas. Even Eminem himself shouted out Nas in that one song. No.
I said 98%. Never mentioned that. I mentioned names, but I didn't. I said maybe you had to rewind it back, man. But I don't believe I said that he was a better lyricist than Nas. I said Black Thought, Nas, and people like that. They're the only ones that can be in that man's atmosphere as far as his pen. That's what I meant. I'm not taking back what I said about Tupac and Bishop because I think he got lost in that role. He got lost in that role. He got lost in that character. He got stuck in that character. Listen, he got stuck in that character, right? Just like Denzel Washington got stuck in Training Day.
Wow,
So we can talk about it later on.
We'll definitely have to talk about that. But
it was Brenda Got a Baby to Thug Life. You know what I'm saying? But
he can't come to Cali no more. He can't. You can't visit Cali no more.
No, don't drink me, man. Don't drink me.
But all jokes aside, though, I feel like Eminem, in my opinion, I think he was just like chasing something he done before, to be honest. Like especially the song when he's talking about his daughter, right? And I said earlier he did this for like the 50th time. You know what I mean? Like you can always, especially like if you're a good artist, if you're a good MC, you can always go back to the same topic, and if you can add your little spice to it, make it new because nothing's really original. Everyone's just making something that's been done before and making it better, right? But I said this is like his 50th time talking about his daughter. I'm not really a frequent listener of Eminem, but I've had a time in my life where I listened to Eminem like a lot. You know what I mean? So this had to be like, I'm like, you know what? Like you said this before, Eminem. You know what I mean? Like this is like if you mention your daughter one more time, you're like, she's a grown woman. You know what I mean? It's not as emotional as it used to be when she was a kid and everything. It's like, no one's gonna relate to it the same. It depends, But and things like songs like what's that song? Songs like Houdini, right? That's like fan service. It's obviously fan service. It's fan service.
I didn't like this song.
It sounds like Houdini is like fan service. It's made to be wacky. It's made to be corny. It's made to go to white people mainly. You know what I mean? That and I'm liking it. So I think the only song I like, and even that I was not really like, was a song with Big Scene. And I know the artist's name. He's like a white.
You talking about Big Sean?
Yeah. Him and like. I know the other guy's name, but he's like a white Snoop Dogg to me.
Baby Tron.
Oh, yep. Baby Tron. He's like a white Snoop Dogg to me. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling. He has that West Side type flow. I don't
But
know.
this is the first time. This is the first time I was put on notice for him. I ain't know nothing about him.
Yeah, I mean he's decent. He's decent. He's decent. I mean that's kind of really the only song I kind of vibe with a lot.
Yeah.
You
But
ain't like the Jid,
this,
you ain't like the Jid joint, the one with him and Jid. I think that was dope.
I guess you can like Jid, but you just don't like the song. You could like the artist that's on this song, but if the song's not hitting itself, because the purpose of the song and the song being on the album is for the artist, the main artist, to make the song good. To make the song listenable, right? I don't go to the album to listen and be like, I like this song because of another artist. I listen to the song so I can like you and what you put to the song. You know what I mean? Wherever that's the production, the beats, how you flow on it, anything, the topic matter, it doesn't matter. I go
And the
listen to
features,
you.
and the features just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. And the feature is just the icing on the cake. But see, with this felt like he was it felt like a fan service album. I would have liked to see something with a more serious, darker tone with Eminem. You know what I mean? Especially this time around. I guess this is something he did for fun. I guess he had in a vote for a time and he wanted just to release it, to be honest.
It was very a fun album. It had a lot of trolling in it.
Yeah.
Typical Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
Yes.
what do you give it? I'm gonna name some topics production wise. What do you give it out of 10? 10 being the best.
Man, I'm not a big listener when it comes to the whole production thing, but I mean, for my ears and how it sounded to my ears, and how the sound and how satisfying it was, I'll give it like a decent 4. You know what I mean?
1 out of 10. Okay. I mean
Yeah,
that's
I heard
below
better.
average. That's in the negative mark. Oh, okay. So subject matter, like the topics and stuff like that. What do you give it? 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna be honest to give it a 2. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I gave
He
it
could
a
have
3.
came a little better. Yeah, he could have came a little better with the topic.
Yeah. He too much far in the game, And I'm sure
Yeah.
he lived through a lot of experiences. That's the thing. He lived
Yeah.
through, like Gov says, like Gov mentioned, and I'm just paraphrasing. Sometimes you can be so caught up in your role that you can't venture outside the comfort zone.
Right.
Yes.
So what about the lyrics? What do you give it from 1 to 10?
As you guys said, I'm not trying to. He's always had good lyrics to me. I mean, you can't lie about his lyrics, and you can't downplay him and be like Eminem never had good lyrics. He's always gonna have good lyrics.
Undeniable.
Always good lyrics.
Right.
He's always gonna have good lyrics. So I don't care what song or album it is. He's always gonna make sure he has good lyrics in there. So yeah, that's gonna be like a 9 out of 10, really.
Okay. And last but not least, the album length. And what do you rate the album from 1 to 10?
The album length itself, that's a 1 out of 10 for me. I don't, for the love of me, I do not like long albums. I can see why and understand why some artists have long albums. I don't knock it. You know what I mean? Like different strokes for different folks. But I mean, like, I just don't like long albums. I hate it, especially like even if you had a good attention span, right? You don't want to sit there. No one realistically has time to sit there and listen to a whole 19 songs. You know what I mean? So 15 is like good, 16's pushing it. 10 is decent.
For me, 13 is stretching it, but if it's dope, 13 is good.
Yeah, most definitely. But the album itself, unfortunately, with someone like Eminem, even though I don't listen to him much, but I have a fond respect for him as an artist. Especially what he just did for hip hop and he just did for the community, and he inspired other people that look like him to start rapping and stuff, black or white. I hate to say it, but I have to give this a 4 out of 10 this time around.
Okay, so was it 4, 5, 6? You gave it a 4?
Yeah, 4 out of 10.
Gov gave it a 5. I gave it a 6. There you have it. One more thing I want to leave out before we bounce. The minutes on the album, 5-minute songs, man. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
He's on that Michael Jackson stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, we was interested in Michael Jackson. 5-minute Michael Jackson song didn't feel like 5 minutes to me. It felt like 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that was dance.
This felt like I was like trying to get my way through a horror movie.
Right.
that I didn't like too much. You get what I'm saying? Like, Jason 12, Jason goes to Saturn. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Like if the songs had been stronger, where it could have played better into this whole theme, like because this whole death of Slim Shady, and they was trying to make it like a comic book. If they could have made those songs really do that, or if the character, or somehow is able to just bring these type of character into life somehow, I think it would have. I think it would have really. I would. It would have resonated with me a lot more.
I think this man, listen, production,
Right.
production.
Yep.
It means a lot. Especially when you have a certain album title.
Mm-hmm.
You have a concept.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Concept. Think about the word concept. You're expecting to go into this album having an idea what this album's going to be about. Right? The twists and turns and the surprises come from what the artist is talking about. Right? Can he, can he say it differently? Like someone else came up with this particular concept, but can he say it differently from, how does he stand out in this concept? But when the production doesn't live up to par, like I think that, like you said, Death of Slim Shady, I think that he should have got somebody like Alchemist on there. He should have tested up with, like RZA, somebody that's Madlib, that did MF Doom, Mad Villainy album. He should have got in touch with people that had like a more low file or boom bapish dark type of feel. Like his counterpart, Royce da 5'9", and that's why I put Royce da 5'9" over top of Eminem. Their lyrical ability is the same, but Royce da 5'9" know how to pick beats. Does not know how to pick beats. He's good with the beats, and he's good when he's behind Dr. Dre back in the day when he wanted to reach the masses. But when it comes down to like that, those producers I just mentioned, who wouldn't want to see Eminem with Lord Finesse? Who wouldn't want to see Eminem with what's the dude used to make beats for I can't think of his name, man. Somebody help me here. The DJ from NYC. I can't think of his name. He used to do Nas's Light. He did Nas's Light. Nas supposed to be doing an album with him soon.
Yeah.
DJ Premier. Who wouldn't want to see Eminem with a Premier? Premier producing Eminem's album. Right. Who wouldn't want to, right? Who wouldn't want to see him with Alchemist? Who wouldn't want to see him with RZA? Right? Who wouldn't want to see him with, those type of, people who produce things for TDE. And then before anybody say, well, that's this sound and this is Eminem sound. Yes. Okay. So I get it. But if you're having a concept album,
right,
let the production reflect that. Because I could have got off the fact that the lyrical content of Eminem, if the production drew me in. To me, the production was just too lighthearted and too corny, and it didn't reflect someone that's fighting an alter ego. It didn't reflect to me that somebody's trying to bury your alter ego. It didn't have that type of grungy graveyard type of feel I was looking for.
Right. Yeah, he produces himself a lot too. Eminem does. You can see he got a lot of it.
You ever hear like Royce da 5'9" albums?
I know
when you go back to when you get a chance, man, listen to Royce production versus M production. It's like night and day.
Yeah, it is. I agree. But Eminem, I guess that's the thing that I've always held. I don't know. A lot of people say the same thing about Nas. I personally like Nas, a lot of the beats that he chooses, though. But that's to each his own. You know what I mean? Because I remember when As It Was Written, when that first came out, they were like, "Oh, I don't like these beats," but I love that album. You know what I mean? But
I actually like It Was Written better than Illmatic. That's just me.
Yep.
Yeah, don't crucify me, hip hop purist. I like It Was Written better than Illmatic. Yep. I really, really didn't like Illmatic till like 7 years ago. Don't crucify me. I really didn't. You know, because I really didn't pay attention to Nas. He wasn't really on my radar until it was written.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had to go back and say, okay, what's the big hype about Illmatic? And, shout out to Nas. He got best rap album in history. Illmatic is rewarded the best rap album in history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I was just told by my co-host that we got a minute left. We catch y'all next week. Oh yeah, real quick reminder. We got some hosts that lined up for the next few weeks. So I'm gonna put y'all down with that. But this wraps up the rap review. I guess I said I'm your host Adam Mill. To write nothing me is
the governor.
Quan Bizzle. Peace.
And where can they find you real quick, Gov?
Check me out at Governor's Mansion, GUVNASMANSION at Instagram. I'll be on Instagram.
And where can they check you out, Quan Bizzle?
At TikTok, Quan You Funny MC.Mandela. That'll be all.
And that's it. This wraps it up. Best podcast in the world. One.
Peace.
Peace.